Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, I'm King Nido, and today we're coming in from Viridian City where the Magma are hosting the Lava Ridge Flare. But as they send out their starting lineups, let's have a look at this tail of the tape as the Magma are currently sitting on the bottom of the leaderboard. They are out of contention to make Victory Road, but they want to get away from earning that wooden crown, whereas the Lava Ridge Flare are coming off one of the most dominant victories we have ever seen in the Poketype League, and they want to continue that momentum to try and get themselves into an Elite Four position. So with that said, let us know in the comments below who you think is going to win this matchup. Will it be the ground types? Will it be the fire types? Let's go!
3, 2, 1, go!
And it is Garchomp joined by Torterra starting out for the Viridian Magma as that Leech Seed is planted by Garchomp onto Ceruledge, who is joined by Blaziken, but Ceruledge is going to respond with the Fusion Flare onto Torterra. This will be super effective on the Park Grass type, but it's able to hang on by a thread. Blaziken can finish it off here with the Assurance, and it does. They have shut Torterra out of this matchup. The Lava Ridge Flare continuing their momentum from last round as out comes Golem in its Alolan form, the Terrestrial Draftee for the Viridian Magma, and it was the Magma last season that ended the Lava Ridge Flare winning streak that they had at the start of the season, and they want to try and play spoiler here again today against the fire types as Garchomp is going to go and set up the Iron Defense, so it is going to boost that base 95 physical defense a great deal as Ceruledge looking to respond is going to go for the Swift, connecting with both ground types for some good chip damage as Blaziken follows up with the Clanging Scales connecting with both ground types, but it's super effective on the Part Dragon type Garchomp, putting it into knockout range, and Golem is going to respond with the Payday, and that is a massive critical hit Payday. Trying to make that money is Golem as Garchomp is having its health restored thanks to that Leech Seed sapping the health of Ceruledge on the field. Garchomp is going to go with the Sucker Punch, but there are no suckers on the side of the Lava Ridge Flare, and this opens the door for Ceruledge to go for the Lash Out onto Garchomp, trying to get that elimination, but it only puts it back into knockout range, and that Rough Skin ability does come into play, hurting Ceruledge as Blaziken with the Yawn is going to cause Golem to get drowsy here on the field, but before it can fall asleep, it is going to be able to go for the Scratch to finish Blaziken off. The Viridian Magma are able to counter the Flare, and that is what they need because they did not want the Fire types to try and run away with it, and the Magma do have that type advantage as well as Garchomp continues to have its health restored by taking it from Ceruledge. And now out for the Flare, it is going to be Arcanine in its Hisuian form with that Intimidate ability, lowering the physical attack of both Garchomp and Golem, but it is a Mud Shot from Garchomp, and it is a one-hit wonder. It has just taken Arcanine out of this matchup. Very impressive as the Bulldoze in response from Ceruledge puts Garchomp back into knockout range, lowering the speed of both Garchomp and Golem here on the field, but Golem does go for the Swords Dance. It is going to boost that 120 base attack, but what just happened to Arcanine even after lowering the attack of Garchomp? Garchomp just went for the shot with a massive Mud Shot. That may be the most powerful Mud Shot I have ever seen here, as Golem has finally fallen asleep after growing drowsy earlier thanks to Blaziken. It is going to be Cinderace coming out for the Lava Ridge Flare, and Cinderace immediately with the Hydro Pump, but Golem rolls out of the way in its sleep as Ceruledge is going to go with the Amnesia, so it is going to boost that special defense a great deal, which is already base 100 as well, but it is on the receiving end of a Chloroplast, which does practically nothing, being not very effective, but Garchomp has taken itself out thanks to that recoil damage, and this is going to level the playing field for the Lava Ridge Flare before the Magma could build too much momentum. And there is Golem still snoring away down there on the field as out comes Hippowdon for the Viridian Magma, and Cinderace immediately meets it with a Stomping Tantrum, getting some good damage as well. As Ceruledge follows it up with the Air Slash to eliminate Golem. The Flare have just taken back the lead. They are taking back that control that it seemed like Garchomp was getting back for the Magma, as that Sunshine does start to come back out over the field. Hippowdon with the Shadow Claw immediately eliminates Ceruledge in response with that super effective move to level the playing field. It is now a 3 versus 3 contest as out comes Charizard for the Flare. It is going to be Sandaconda coming out for the Magma, and Cinderace with a Mud Shot of its own onto Hippowdon, getting some good damage, lowering the speed of Hippowdon in the process as Charizard follows it up with the Ice Hammer, bringing the hammer down onto Sandaconda for that super effective damage. It does lower the speed of Charizard in the process. And we see another Leech Seed, this time from Sandaconda onto Charizard, so it is going to plant those seeds around it to sap its health as the Venoshock follow from Hippowdon, getting some good chip damage there onto Cinderace, and there is that Leech Seed starting to take effect on Charizard, sapping its health, giving it to Sandaconda. But where has this intensity been from the Magma all season, as a substitute is set up by Cinderace on the field, using its own health to put that substitute doll out on the field, and Sandaconda immediately goes for the doll with the Wild Charge, trying to get it off the field immediately, and it is successful in doing so. So Cinderace reappearing back on the field, as Charizard is going to look to respond with the Teeter Dance. This is going to confuse everybody on the field, including Cinderace. Surely the Flare do not want Cinderace doing damage to itself, but it will be great for them if Hippowdon is unable to shake this off, because it will be the first one going for a move with that confusion status in effect. And Hippowdon is able to shake it off successfully, going for a Bubble Beam. It is not that confused, because that is super effective onto Cinderace, putting it into knockout range. And there is that Leech Seed continuing to sap the health of Charizard, taking a little bit of health every turn and giving it to Sandaconda, as Cinderace needs to shake off this confusion that was given to it by Charizard, or it'll take itself out. It shakes it off. It goes for the Ingrain, which is going to restore its health, but Sandaconda may be able to finish it off before it gets to capitalize on that if it can shake off its own confusion here. And it is successful. It is going to go for the Dream Eater though, so maybe it is more confused than we think, because nobody's asleep on the other side of the Flare. Charizard looking to capitalize, goes with the Arm Thrust. This multi-hit move doesn't do a great deal of damage at first to Hippowdon, but if it can get all 5, it will add up and do a quite fair amount of damage here on the ground type, but it only is able to connect with 3, as Hippowdon is still in a confused state. If it can't shake it off, it'll probably do more damage to itself than Charizard did, but it is successful. It is going to go for the Shift Gear, changing gears there down on the field to boost that speed a great deal, but will it be able to move quicker than the Fire types, also boosting that attack though? It's base 112, it's got that base 118 defense to work with, as well as Cinderace has its health restored thanks to those planted roots, and Sandaconda has its health restored thanks to Charizard being Leech Seeded. But Cinderace has snapped out of its confusion. It needs to go on the offensive. It goes for the Rock Slide, connecting with both ground types for not very effective damage. But Sandaconda has flinched. That could be crucial, because so has Hippowdon. They've both flinched, and Charizard is going to go for the Supersonic, but it's not going to work. Sandaconda is already confused, but there is that health being restored for Cinderace, getting it out of knockout range. At this rate, Sandaconda is going to get itself back to full strength very soon with the health it keeps taking from Charizard, as Cinderace with the Power Gem onto Sandaconda. Not very effective, however, doing some good chip damage, and Hippowdon being the second quickest on the field now, trying to shake off this confusion, and it is successful once again, going for the Bolt Strike. This will be super effective on the flying type Charizard, and it gets the elimination. The Viridian Magma have just taken back the lead. This is a crucial time, as the Flare are down to 2 Pokemon now. Sandaconda has the opportunity to follow it up. It snaps out of its confusion as well. It focuses in onto Cinderace, but it goes with the Dragon Dance. It is just preparing now. It is going to boost that 107 base attack, as well as boosting that speed. And there's that health being restored for Cinderace, as we're about to find out who the last Pokemon for the Lava Ridge Flare is. And it is going to be Typhlosion in its Jotonian form, as Cinderace immediately with the Jaw Lock on to Hippowdon, putting it into knockout range, making it so neither of them can run away, but they're not looking to go anywhere, as Sandaconda with the Defend Order, now it's boosting those defenses, including that base 125 base defense, as we're reading off stats galore here. Typhlosion with the Guard Swap, focusing in to Sandaconda, switching all changes to those defense stats, capitalizing on the boost that Sandaconda just gave itself. Hippowdon needs to shake off this confusion. It's unsuccessful. It's going to take itself out of this matchup thanks to Charizard confusing it earlier, and we're back to a level playing field. It is 2 versus 2. But where has this been all season for the Viridian Magma, and what happened to the Flare that we saw last round? As out comes Crocodile for the Viridian Magma. Cinderace immediately with the bulk up as Crocodile enters the field. It is going to boost its own physical attack and physical defense with that 116 base attack as well. But the Sparkling Aria from Sandaconda, this is super effective, connecting with everybody on the field, and it takes out that bulked up Cinderace, putting the Viridian Magma back in front. Typhlosion is all by itself with 2 ground types to contend with. It goes and sets up the Psychic Terrain, and I do not think the Crocodile cares at all about a Psychic Terrain being set up being part Dark type. It is immune to Psychic type moves, as it is going to go for the Coaching. It's looking to help out Sandaconda here. It is going to give it a boost in that physical attack, once again, as well as boosting that physical defense. And Sandaconda with the Fury Swipes, this multi-hit move, if this gets all 5, it will do massive damage to Typhlosion after just having that physical attack boosted once again. It's got 3. It's got 4. If it can get the 4th one, it may put into the 5th one, it may put into knockout range, but it only gets 4 Typhlosion with the Confuse Ray, trying to get Crocodile to do damage to itself, try and save Typhlosion, having to contend with 2 Pokemon at once. But Crocodile needs to shake this off. This could be a turning point for the Flare. And Crocodile is successful in shaking off, going for the Baton Pass. Maybe it is still confused because there's nobody left on the bench, but Sandaconda looking to do its part, goes with the Wish, wishing the Viridian Magma do not get the Wooden Crown, that it can have that health restore and they can win this game. The Spit Up from Typhlosion is going to fail because it has not gone for a stockpile, and Crocodile can capitalize if it can shake off this confusion. And it is successful once again, going for the Axe Kick, that flexibility, bringing the leg down onto Typhlosion and defeating the Lava Ridge Flare once again, just like they did last season. But again, where was this from the Magma all season? They had shown so much potential as they moved themselves out of that Wooden Crown position up to 17th. Next round, they will have their last game against the Anastar Galaxy, whereas the Flare are going up against the Montana Vera Sylphs next round. I cannot wait for that one, but until then, Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field, and if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I'll see you when you see me.